All right, we're live, post-game rolling on at a now empty Clemson bar. Where all the Clemson fans go? They just won the national championship, Wayno. Where'd they all go?
They went on to the next bar. This place was rocking about 10 minutes ago.
What an unreal game, 35-31. Clemson just beat Alabama in the national championship game. Has it sunk in yet?
I'm spent, man. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna say something. This is the truth, too. We talked about this earlier today. You and I both did. Deshaun Watson, he's the man. Who do you want? Even though, Jalen Hurts did an amazing job for a freshman quarterback to lead that drive, to give Alabama the lead back. But with 2 minutes left, you knew that Deshaun Watson was going to win the football game. It was amazing, and every single skill player stepped up. Leggett had big plays. Williams had huge plays. Hunter Renfrow, former walk-on, had amazing plays, including the game-winning touchdown. Wayne Gallman stepped up and made big plays, including a touchdown. These guys played amazing. The skill on offense for Clemson was a difference in this game.
Their stars played like stars, and it happened down the stretch when you needed to the most. And Alabama, meanwhile, starts the game 2 for 3 on their third down attempts. Wayne, they didn't convert a single third down the rest of the game. They were 0 for their next 12 third down attempts. That was such a huge difference for them. They were behind the chains a lot on third down the rest of the game. Ben Boulware screaming in the background. That dude was a machine on defense, getting his guys lined up. Clemson stars took over this game. And you're right, Deshaun Watson, 466 yards of total offense, 4 TDs for the second straight year in a row in the championship game. 8 TDs combined over the last 2 years, both times over 460 yards of total offense. How does he do this against Alabama?
They wore him down.
Yeah.
The game started early on, and it was all Alabama early. And as the game, we talked about it in the second quarter, Deshaun started finding his way a little bit. And by the third and fourth quarter, they started really moving the ball really well. And you got to give credit, too, though. Like you said, you just heard Boulware talking. How great was Clemson's defense in the second half? It was weird. They kind of pulled an Alabama on them. They were so good on offense that Alabama's defense was tired late in that game. And by the end of the game, the defense of Clemson was dominant. And so, listen, that's one of the best.
They lost Cleveland Farrell. Farrell was out of the game in the second half for the most part.
One of the best national championship games you'll ever see. And Dabo Swinney, how much fun is to watch the emotion of that guy. What a great head coach. What an amazing thing he's done for that program.
Would it be wrong to say I might have cried too? I got caught up in the hype. Like, it just hit me, the wave of emotion.
It was amazing, man. And you did cry a little bit, but that's okay. You know what was great?
Nobody's watching this right now, right? It's just between you and me.
There was about four Alabama fans in here. This is what I love about sports. They all came into the main room, and they all started shaking hands. It was pretty cool. Sports is an amazing thing. Alabama's had their run. Clemson deserved it. We've talked about it. These teams were this close. But at the end of the day, I'm going to keep saying this. Deshaun Watson, the most important position in sports is quarterback. This guy can make mistakes. He can have problems. But when you're at the end of the game, how many times this year has he led his team on a game-winning drive? He's amazing.
Wayne, they lost the turnover margin -2. They didn't force a single turnover. They turned the ball over twice. Here's the major win. You know what it resulted in? 3 points. Clemson's defense came to play. And even crazier than that, Nick Saban at Alabama, 97-0 coming into this game when he led going into the fourth quarter. Guess what? He's now 97-1. He was 6-0 in his career in national, or 5-0 in his career in national championship games. Guess what? He finally lost a game in a national championship game. And who's the guy that does it? Dabo Swinney. He called himself the other day the crawl-on from Pelham, Alabama. He's a former walk-on. You just can't write these storylines.
It's an amazing story. And again, let's not. This is an Alabama team that deserves all kinds of praise. For them to snap back and go down the field and take the lead back at the end was pretty amazing. The problem is they left too much time on the clock. But what Nick Saban has done, this doesn't lessen it at all. You could say this has been an amazing run, and you know who's going to be back again next year and really, really good? It's probably going to be Alabama. Clemson will be too. But
I was going to say, is Sark back? How does that one work? Is Sark coming too soon?
No, listen. It may be too soon. Sark made some brilliant calls in this game. They were better on offense this week than they were last week, in my opinion. So I know that Alabama fans are going to say it's not enough, but they had the lead with 2 minutes left, and this was one of the best defenses in the history of college football, right? And yet they gave up the scoring drive. It wasn't the offense that maybe lost this one in the end. It was the defense.
Well, and I also feel like you're going to do the what-if game forever. You can't do this, but if you're Alabama, what happens if Bo Scarborough doesn't go back to the locker room? He was tearing off those runs. Damian Harris, good back, not the same back, and you just didn't see that running game element for Alabama. Man, this is crazy. Clemson is the national champion in college football right now. Dabo Swinney, I mean, watch out. They're killing it on the recruiting trail before they won a national championship. Now they're holding that trophy, and Deshaun Watson leaves as a junior to head to the NFL as a national champion. Didn't win the Heisman. I think he's okay with the trophy he got tonight, though.
That's a nice consolation prize, although I'm going to keep pointing out to everybody that I did vote for Deshaun Watson.
You should have voted for. I think everybody should have voted for Deshaun Watson. Just so many storylines heading into this game, and is it possible that the sequel outdid the original?
I love college football, man. Are you kidding me? I mean, it seems like all the time I'm saying that's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life, and you know what? This has got to be near the top of the list. It's top. Is
this USC Texas good in the Rose Bowl in 06? It's up there, right?
Well,
it's up there.
For me personally, I enjoyed that one a little bit more. But you know what? It's definitely up there. I was at the Rose Bowl whenever it was, and that was an amazing football game. I love college football. This is insane.
Well, let me just say too, as we put a bow on our post-game show, it's been a nice establishment actually. I kind of like this backdrop, nice brick wall. John Jansen. He's got to catch an L tomorrow, right? Like we won, we declared the victor, and it's midnight, right? Yeah, midnight on the East Coast. It's now officially my birthday, my first birthday. Thank you, by the way, my first birthday present. John Jansen being wrong and you and I being right.
Well, you remember he's 6'6", 275.
So you sit between me and him tomorrow.
Well, I'll try to protect you, but I think he can take both of us in one swoop.
Okay. Any other takeaways that we haven't? I feel like we've hit on everything. Is there anything else we should touch on?
Yeah. How about the fact that the offensive line for Clemson, who we were worried about, they were young. I mean, remember how does this bodes really well? Now they got to replace Deshaun Watson because he's going to leave early for the NFL. But the front, what a matchup! I mean, they had to go up against this vaunted Alabama, defensive line, and they held their own. They did a really good job.
How have we not talked about this? Bobby Biceps won the national championship game tonight, right? Like that guy's going to be an internet hero. You like that term, Bobby Biceps? I don't know what his real name is, but that's what he is from now on.
I want to know where he faked hands. I want to know where he works out.
He shaves his arms, man. Did you see that?
I want to know what supplements he's taking. I mean, this is good stuff, man.
Do they do PED testing for refs?
They should. You know what? He got more airtime, and even at the end of the game, he's like, "Give me more airtime," just to try to figure out the onside kick. That was fantastic.
Bobby Biceps, he's a winner. Big 12 ref, by the way. Bobby Biceps from the Big 12. All right, Wayne Cook, Chris Kroeger. We're back tomorrow. We'll recap the game in total seriousness tomorrow, 10 to noon Eastern time. TuneIn.com, the TuneIn app. It will be streaming live again, Facebook.com/College Sports Now. Your national champions for the first time since 1981, the Clemson Tigers. And on a day when Danny Ford, the only other man to deliver a national title to Clemson, gets announced for the College Football Hall of Fame, guess what? Clemson, once again, your national champions. Awesome stuff. See you guys tomorrow back here on College Sports Now.